Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but still want to have a life. I'm Jared, and as always, I'm joined by my partner, Johanna. Hey, Johanna.
Hi, Jared.
What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about cloning yourself.
Like in multiplicity?
No.
That's what happens in multiplicity.
I'm trying to remember that movie exactly. I did enjoy it. I remember that.
Michael Keaton. I actually barely remember it, but he makes clones of himself to like make his life easier. But the clones keep getting like dumber and dumber the more.
Oh, this is not going to be like that.
What is it going to be like?
This is going to be video instruction.
Okay.
Yes. Like using...
That's like cloning yourself.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful. It's magical. Everyone should do it. And I say this as someone who doesn't enjoy a lot of technology in the classroom. I think a lot of it is bad. But video instruction is good. Technology
in classroom is bad.
We've already talked. That's like a horse I'll continue to beat, I suppose. But video instruction is very, very good.
All right, I think I already get it, but walk me through it's cloning yourself.
So basically, it is a video of you providing instruction to the students that the students watch in place of you.
Yes.
Yes. And it is magical.
So I'm going to compare this to real teaching.
Okay.
Like I always want to do.
Okay. I ran an experiment this week, actually, just for this podcast.
Exciting.
Yes.
What a real teacher does is they stand at a podium and talk.
No.
And occasionally call on the one person who's pretending to pay attention to answer questions.
No.
That's what real teachers do.
Okay.
It is known.
Uh-huh.
But why do they do that? All of them?
Well, I heard that they did it because it used to be there back hundreds of years ago. There was only like one book.
I mean, that's what Socrates did.
And so you had to do that because not everyone could read the content. And so you, the teacher, were regurgitating the content as a way to distribute the content among the masses.
Or even before that, there wasn't even a book.
Right.
You were just a person who knew things.
Right. Correct.
Has technology improved since Socrates' day? And I mean real Socrates, not Bill and Ted Socrates, because we're still behind that technology.
I don't even know what technology existed during Socrates. I suppose they had like the balance and like simple machines.
Yeah.
Did they have, what's the math thing with the little balls?
Abacus?
Yeah, did they have...
That existed? I don't think the Greeks had it.
Okay. No, this is like technology where you're using video of yourself in place of you.
For your lectures, essentially?
No. Well, kind of.
For like you talking about content?
For you teaching.
Well, what do we need you for then?
Okay, well, but if video worked, then Bob Ross would have replaced every art teacher.
Yes.
And the science...
Yes, finally.
What's the science guy's name?
Bill
Nye, the science guy, would have replaced all science teachers.
Yep.
And the History Channel would have replaced all...
well, let me stop you there, because the History Channel doesn't have a history on it.
Oh, it doesn't anymore?
No, it's all like ancient aliens and stuff.
Oh, okay. But like physical education teachers would have been replaced by like DVDs and VHS tapes of how to work out.
I love this.
Right, but none of that worked because it turns out that learning is more complicated than just watching someone provide you the content.
I know. I learned a lot from Mr. Wizard.
Okay.
And Bob Ross.
I will say that you learned a lot, but you're a little different. Your ability to retain knowledge by just watching is kind of incredible. But B, Like, your art skills are not Bob Ross's art skills.
That's true.
Like, you enjoy watching Bob Ross, and you appreciate painting because of Bob Ross, but you are not
Well, I didn't listen to him when
Bob
he said
Ross.
that I should paint with him. I only did that like a couple times.
Yes.
Maybe if I painted it as many times as I watched him, then I would be better at painting.
Right, but that's why you need the teacher. You need someone to
yell
facilitate.
at you. Really, what I need is a personal trainer.
Is a coach, right. Okay. But believe me now, they listen to video you so much better than they listen to real you if you put in place some Johanna Russell rules.
Why do you call it teaching, though?
Like, you're just giving them the information that they need. That's not the teaching part. That's just disseminating.
So it's not the teaching.
It's not the teaching.
It's the instructing.
It's the instruction. Yes, it's the instruction.
You don't need to be doing that live in person really ever.
In fact, it will be better if you don't. But a lot of people want to do this and then they think it's like another full-time job. And if you do it the wrong way, it is another full-time job. So I happen to have taught hundreds of teachers. I don't know how many teachers by now I've taught how to create video instruction. And there are definitely right ways and wrong ways to do this. So that's what we're going to jump into.
Have we not talked about this before?
I don't know.
Isn't this your thing?
It is my thing.
Okay. Well, all right. Give me the do's and don'ts.
Okay, so the basic do's and don'ts are 1, video length. So your video cannot be longer than the age of your child divided in half.
I swear we talked about this because this makes me think of the creeper rule.
Yes.
I know we've done that before.
We've touched on this topic, but we haven't dived into it enough.
Okay. So just like the creeper rule.
Based on the feedback I'm getting. Okay, yeah.
Just like the creeper rule, except no +7.
Yeah. Yes, we did talk. Yes.
Yes. So if you have 12-year-old students, the video can't be longer than 6 minutes.
Correct. And then preferably within the first 3 minutes, you're having them do something. So when I make a video for kindergartners, let's say they're 5, that means I know I can do a 2.5-minute video, but sometimes I have content that needs to be 4.5, 5 minutes long. I can do that as long as they are doing something during the video. Sometimes that means that they're playing pretend with me during the video. Sometimes that means that they're holding up their hands or they're repeating me or there's some sort of song that we're learning. But it has to be very interactive. If it's secondary, it means that they are actually doing something. They're recording something on the paper with you pretty quickly into the video if you want them to get the content.
Because otherwise they'll just disengage.
Yes.
And it'll just kind of wash over them without them. Just
yes.
Like the equivalent of like when you're reading and you realize your eyes have been moving across the words, but you weren't actually reading it, and suddenly you're at the end of the page and like, oh, what happened?
Yes. So the next thing is that when you make the videos, you only do 2 takes.
Oh,
That's
the cat.
it.
Speaking of takes, the cat's in here.
The cat is in here.
Where were you, sweetheart?
She was inside my chair.
Okay. Takes.
Yeah. Do 2 takes. And so we're doing a quick recap of some stuff we've already talked about. So you only do 2 takes. That's it. 2. You pick one. Never quit during the take. You just keep on going. And then out of the 2 videos, you pick the best one.
Got it.
Okay. The next component is
no editing.
No editing.
It doesn't actually improve it, and it wastes a ton of your time.
A ton of your time. What I do is I get a music stand, and I put my computer on the music stand, and then I just use the built-in camera on the computer, and when I want it to look at me, I have the screen pointed at me. And when I want it to look at my hands, I just physically take the screen, and I tilt it downwards on the computer or on the music stand, and then it can show whatever's right in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah. It works slick. If they go to Miss Russ Art Tutorials, they will see videos of...
We'll hear a cat.
Yeah, they'll hear a cat. If they go to Miss Russ Art Tutorials, they can watch the videos and they can see that literally is how I mean, it doesn't look like it on the video, but that's it. It's just on a music stand and they can watch me take my hand and literally tilt stuff down, they'll notice that I don't have any words put in there or anything like that. Everything is just, it's not meant to be Hollywood. It's meant to be no better than live me. That's it.
Right. Because that's what you're replacing anyway.
Yes. Yes. And what this allows you to do, so this is mainly what I want to get into discussing, is that it allows you to act as an associate to yourself. So during the video, you can make sure that those 3 kids who never pay attention are like actually focused and paying attention. Like you can remind them like, oh, eyes up on the screen. When it is secondary, it's very nice because if a kid watches the video and then they have to create some sort of product if they're secondary during the video. They either need to be able to tell you something about the video or from the video, or they need to actually show you what they did during the video. And through trial and error, you learn when you're making good videos, when they can't just go off of what a friend tells them to do or by trying to copycat a friend. Like just making sure that they know the directions solves like 90% of your problems.
Yep.
All right, so getting away from the logistics of making the video, maybe we should talk about what videos you can get your biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so definitely, without a doubt, having a welcome video for your classroom is totally worth it.
Yes.
Yes.
For the first day or for every day?
You could use it on the first day, but it works great when you have move-ins. Because when you have a student move into your classroom, sometimes it can really disrupt the learning environment because they never got that welcome to the classroom information that kind of made everything go smoothly. And by having it in video form, particularly if you have students where they might be coming to the school several days before their first day, it's something that you could very easily give to parents, give to students. And it's not work, it's a link, and it lets them know already the you can have in there. So for example, on my Southview Art YouTube channel and on my Miss Russ Art Tutorials channel, you can watch the behavior video that I have for students. You can have a video that's just about yourself. You can have a video that's like a tour of the classroom or the classroom expectations or just logistical information. And getting that information before they start school can really, I think, is huge value, added value.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for parents. It lets the parent and the student all hear the same information. I have behavior videos. I would say maybe 50% of the time I use them with students, but the other half of the time I mainly use them with parents, and that has a big value. For the parent to just have a sense of who you are, and they can learn that through video much better than trying to write something out.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I think parents are more likely to watch a video than read a handout that had the amount of information you can put into a 3.5-minute video.
No, I don't read anything. I'm probably not going to watch the video either, but
That's true. But a lot of people will.
Yeah. Just embedded, maybe. If it's in the email, maybe I'll click on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to link it.
No, I don't want a link. I want it embedded.
You want it embedded?
Can you do that in email?
I don't think not on my work email I can't.
But with your new student video, either something bad happens if you don't do that. Either they don't get the message, or you have to stop everything and make everyone pay with their time while you give them their new message, or you have to take special time yourself to do it. It makes sense that having the video for the new students is the only thing to do, right?
Yes, it can come across as not wanting to take the time to bond with the student, and that's not the message. The message is just that, if you have 25 students and you only have them for a short period of time, or even if you have them all day, I mean, you don't want your other students to get jealous of the amount of time. Like, it's hard. It's hard bringing in a new member into a family. And a lot of times classrooms feel like families. And so even if you can get 50% of the content delivered through another means, it's helpful. Particularly if the kid is, I mean, I would think from a kid's perspective, it would relieve anxiety to know information about the classroom or about the teacher even before day one.
Yeah, you get like your own first day.
Yeah.
Even though you missed the first day?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
What other videos or do's?
I like to record anything that is content-based, particularly if I feel like students need it at different times. I make these videos after the day I teach it. So I spend the whole day teaching it, and by the end of the day, I've got a good handle on like what I needed to say, what I didn't need to say. If you're secondary, you might have taught it 6 times. So times 7, you really know what you're doing. If you're elementary, you've now dealt with like problem solving and the questions that kids had during the experience. And so you have a better idea of how you would reteach it. And so by just taking the time at the very end of the day to reteach it, it doesn't take very long. Like, it doesn't. It goes quick. Less than 30 minutes, you can do 2 takes and just get it out and get it done.
You already had your rehearsal when you taught the students. If you're trying
to create the video cold, it'll take you forever and you won't like what you have and it won't be very successful with students. And it can feel annoying to create something that you might not use for a long period of time, like a whole year. But man, that next year, it's like, whew, it's great. Yeah. Or, like, let's say it's a fundamental element. Like, you are constantly reteaching fractions. Like, having a video that lets kids go back and redo the learning is so helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you're going to be having to break off and reteach them fractions, the ones that need it.
Yes.
Or you're going to have to be like, well, sucks to be you. We're moving on.
Yes.
Which is how all real teaching is done.
No.
Is you stand at the podium.
Jared.
And you hope that a majority of the class is picking up what you're putting down enough to move on to the next thing when you do.
Nothing more than Jared in a podium and a bunch of kindergartners. My mind's eye can like visualize the chaos ensuing. It's like Jared's trying to podium teach and one kid's flossing in the corner and 2 other kids are literally wrestling because they're pretending they're cats. Like, there's Jared at his podium.
I'm going to say, I could totally do that because all you do is just move on and not worry that people aren't learning.
I suppose.
This is how education is done.
Okay, so I did an experiment this week where I did not create what I would have normally always put in video instruction for my kindergartners.
Oh, so that we have like a control?
Yes.
How'd that go?
Horribly. Oh my goodness. Horribly. So I can only compare it to what I did the year before where I had the video and it took us like 10 minutes. Like, it was 3-part directions. Okay. It was 3-part directions, but they're kind of complicated. And last year it took like 10, 15 minutes. Like, this year I did it with 3 different classes and we barely finished in 40 minutes. And it was a train wreck. Every 5 minutes I said, okay, I'm going to repeat all the directions. If you don't know what you're doing, come sit on the mat. And I'm going to and we even did like, touch your forehead. Forehead means to remember this. Like, I had drawn out directions on the board so they could look at what I was telling them.
Which the touch your forehead thing is the kind of like, that's something you'd put in the video too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was basically the same directions I would put in the video.
So we're talking at least a factor of 5.
Yes.
Times less efficient.
It was awful. awful. Like, the associates that were in the room with me for one class, they didn't even know what to do with them. Because the rule is we don't repeat directions except for every 5 minutes. I'm going to re-give you the 5-part directions. Okay, so basically there's 3.5 minutes worth of directions. And then it should take them only about 5 minutes to do. But because I couldn't hit play on a video and confirm that they were all listening, which video me they listened to really well. I mean, they're like trained to listen to video you. Like anything.
Why?
Anything, because it's on a screen.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm big.
Go ahead and insert the network speech right now.
Yeah, I'm right in their face. They all have a perfect view. There's no back of the room.
Right.
I'm walking around and I'm double checking any kid that's not watching to be like, oh, you need to be watching the screen. So they can all perfectly see and it's all right close, right in their face. Then when I need to re-give the directions, I just replay the video. So like I can replay the video while they're doing it and I can still help kids. But when it's not the video, then I have to like not help anyone for the time frame I am giving the directions again.
Yeah. And do you have like one video monitor when you're doing this?
With the younger kids, I just have one big projector screen.
Okay.
Yep. The older they get, they have their own Chromebooks or we use devices. But the younger they are, the more they need that associate to help them.
Right. You got anything else for the recap?
No. It's worth your time and energy to start recording your tutorials or your instruction.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Keep it real short.
At the end of the day, you should use the time at the end of your day to record what you did.
Yes.
And then you'll never have to do it again. You won't want to.
You won't want to.
But now is the time.
But now is the time. It's even from a teacher's perspective to have, like, every time I get to play a video and I'm like, there are 5 minutes where all of my kids are learning and I have a moment to breathe. I have a moment to find my coffee cup and have some coffee.
But you're going to be like, I dug a bunch of holes and now I'm tired. I don't really want to put trees into holes. But guess what? You already dug up the ground. If you don't plant the tree now, then you're either going to have to live without the tree next year or redig and then plant.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the benefits when there's a sub. Like, my subs can watch the videos or they play the video because I have it recorded from the year before. And then I know that my students all got the same content, right? And then it's the sub's job to just be the coach and guide through it, not have to know the content, teach the content, get the kids to listen. They're not the same. I mean,
The difference for a sub is pretty obvious.
Yes.
Do your subs like it?
Yes.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. The only hard part for them is like figuring out how to get the video to like go. But I mean,
this will be an interesting test episode because my annoying friends who suck say that I talk too much, but I didn't talk very much in this one.
You're not supposed to say naughty words. We have kid
Suck?
listeners. Yes. That is not appropriate. Don't say that word.
It's been on The Simpsons for like 30 years now.
I know, but we are not The Simpsons.
My annoying friends who are of a contemptible and petty nature say that I talk too much. So I didn't talk very much. So if everyone's bored because I'm not here being funny and stupid.
You get a lot of feedback that's positive, so I don't know.
Not from my friends. They all say, shut up and let her talk. Hey, the recap
Yeah.
is it's like cloning.
Yep.
It's like multiplicity, except that your clones don't get progressively worse.
Oh, I'm adding more information to the recap.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, well, a lot of teachers want to just use videos created by somebody else.
No.
And although that will work for some things, It won't work for all things. And oftentimes it takes longer to find the video than it would have for you to just make your own.
Why doesn't it work as well, do you think?
I know teachers that use my videos, and I guess those tend to work okay, but only because, like, you should, if you ever use a video from another teacher, you should just call them your friend or your colleague. I use videos from Jessica Hopper, and I call her my colleague, and I'm like, and I mention where she's at, and so then that kind of, I don't know, there has to be some sort of personal connection for the kids to have vested interest.
They just won't pay attention to a stranger as much?
Yeah, in my opinion, they won't.
That's interesting.
So it'll work. Like, I use videos from other people all the time, and it does work, but you've got to paint the story of
lie
personal
to them.
Connection. It's not a lie. I've emailed and talked to her on the phone.
But what if it's just like Khan Academy? You'd lie and say, hey, this is my friend Khan.
I don't know. I've never used those ones.
We do it with Niall and math sometimes.
That's true. How do you feel like it goes? I feel like maybe if you as the teacher are engaged during the video as well, it can be helpful.
Oh, that's another thing. Because those videos aren't like it's not like a YouTuber. It's not like a person talking to you. It's like voice over, like animated stuff.
Yes.
Or like they're drawing on like a chalkboard essentially.
Yes.
And talking. But that's not what you're about, of course.
No.
Do you think it's important to look like a YouTuber or a newscaster?
No.
To like have you on the screen talking?
Oh. I guess I am in all of them. I start and I end with me.
As opposed to like just having voiceover of you doing something
I think it's got to have that personal connection.
Do you have any idea why?
No. I think it's just because kids are kids and they connect to people.
It's weird.
I think they just really want to connect to a person.
Yeah. I think YouTube has warped their brains.
Oh, is that why?
I mean, I would, if I get instruction, I don't like seeing a person talking to me, right? But I'm old. I'm super old.
You are old.
I'd rather have, like, if they're showing me how to change oil on a car, I don't want it to start with some dude in a t-shirt talking to the camera saying, crush that like button. And then getting to work and show me the thing and start talking about what you're doing. I can look at your hands while you're working. I don't want to know you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to even really to believe you're a person.
Kids are not like that at all.
Right?
No.
That's kind of weird.
Even older kids.
I wonder what the difference is.
I don't know.
Well, this wasn't really a recap.
No. Okay, now recap us.
You want to be short and engaging, half the kid's age, not longer than that in minutes. And you got to make them do something, like touch their forehead when they are remembering to remember something. They have to like do something active, and the older kids actually need to produce something.
Correct.
Otherwise, the instruction, they won't pay attention, essentially.
Right.
You use a music stand.
I do.
With the laptop camera.
Yep.
This allows you to act as an associate to yourself while the kids are getting the instruction. You're not having to give it. You suggest having a welcome video for new students that are coming into your class after the first day. Behavior videos that are geared at parents, just to talk about the behavior plan and the expectations for the classroom. And then maybe the key message is when you first decide to start doing this, you're going to teach your lesson all day. You already know the lesson. You already have rehearsed it a number of times throughout that day.
You found the errors in the lesson because 80% of the kids all asked the same question and you ended up having to reteach part of it.
Take 30 minutes now and save yourself what we're guessing at least 2.5 hours of productivity next year and every year after that.
It's amazing. And then if you have a video that you play and you find out that you're talking over the video a lot or you're having to reteach afterwards, then you know what to re-record.
But yeah, record it now and then have it for next time. And
Yes.
you'll be so happy
Yes.
that you decided to do that.
Yeah, all the props
You're
will
gonna
have
be
been
like-
out, whatever you used. Oh man, you'll be so happy with
You'll
yourself.
be like, how did I do it without this?
Well,
But you didn't really. You didn't do it as well.
it's how you teach in 40 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You worked harder and you got less results.
Yeah.
But now you're going to work less hard
Yes.
and get better results
Yes.
because you're a teacher that's a lifer who doesn't want to spend their whole life.
That's not our motto.
What is the motto? I forget. It's all recorded, so I don't actually say it every time. Welcome to Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but
Still want to have a
still
life.
want to have a life. That's
Oh, Jared.
It's been like a year since I've recorded that.
I know. All right.
We don't have to let them know this. You can cut this part out. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Jared.
Johanna, do you get questions from listeners ever?
Yes, we do.
How do those listeners send you questions?
They send us an email.
Where does that email go?
teachertalk4teachers@gmail.com.
But wait, what kind of four? How do I do four?
All of the fours. They can do a number 4. They can write the word FOR, or they can do FOUR, even though that one doesn't quite make sense.
Well, perfect. teachertalk4teachers@gmail.com.
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Jared.
Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but still want to have a life.